Do your supplement cabinets look like this? If they do, you may want to watch this video. So I routinely will get requests from patients that say, Doc, I'm taking all these supplements. Will you take a look? Will you tell me what you think? And this is my most recent one over the past couple of days, and the list goes on and on. This is a 2-page list. Usually the lists are 2 to 3 pages. This is another one. This is one that I saw earlier this week. And they get into, so for example, the B vitamins, C vitamins, different sources for different supplements within the same supplement. This is page 2 of this second patient. Again, multiple sources, multiple ingredients. How can you tell whether all this stuff works or not? Now, it's going to sound, again, like I'm complaining. This is my bathroom closet. It is a spillover from my bathroom cabinet, which is in a little bit better shape. And that cabinet, in turn, is a spillover from my bathroom sink. So, you know what? I'm just as bad as the rest of us regarding looking at supplements and trying them out. So, if you do that, and I'll talk with you a little bit more about my response. There's actually a lot of information that you can find about supplements, and there's also some logic to thinking about supplements as well. In terms of information and resources, this is a great resource here. Obviously, besides Dr. Google or Dr. YouTube, the problems with Dr. Google and Dr. YouTube is that you tend to get opinions much more than evidence. And on this channel, that's one of the major focus points of my channel, is to provide evidence as opposed to opinions. This is the National Institutes of Health website for the Office of Dietary Supplements. As you know, there are hundreds of supplements, and this contains a full list of fact sheets for those supplements. Here's an example out of the list. Here's just the A's. They've got, again, tons and tons of lists of fact sheets. They also provide science background on supplements as well. I will provide the links for the NIH Office of Dietary Supplements under the video. Here's, speaking of which, as we go down the list, here's the T's and the V's, the W's and the Y's. Now, the first patient I mentioned he did a logical thing. He said, look, I am going crazy trying to keep up with all these supplements. I'm seeing a naturopath, that's what he was telling me, and he said, I asked the guy, you know what, let's just get to one thing that gives me everything, or at least as much as possible. So this is what the naturopath gave him. This is that Intramax. And as you start looking, well, you got vitamin A from multiple sources, C, D, E, multiple sources. What does this start to remind you of? A multivitamin. This is now they're developing a new multivitamin, and again, that's part of the problem with the entire supplement market. It is very, very difficult to pin down. And again, we'll talk about why in these next 2 or 3 slides and these final images. This is my part of my response, and I'm going to start using this on a regular basis with patients when they ask for these reviews. Let me, give me a minute. I need to read some of this because there's important information in here for this topic. Let me first mention a couple of caveats regarding supplement reviews. First, the universe of supplements is a large one, and it's growing every day and shifting and moving. No supplement is perfect, but many do show evidence of some positive impact. Now let's take niacin as an example. It's been shown to do very many positive things, including the only thing that will help increase HDL, good cholesterol, which is very important. However, it's got a problem. Every solution, it seems, creates another problem or brings with it other problems. It causes flushing. So now there are solutions to the niacin flushing problem. There are multiple preparations which improve that. Well, again, back to the issue of every solution creating a whole new set of problems. So then they did a lot of research using forms of niacin which didn't flush. One of those forms was adding lapropion. Lapropion is a chemical that basically decreases the function of the prostaglandin, which helps niacin increase HDL. So guess what? Now there's a bunch of studies which show that, quote, niacin doesn't work. Well, the reality is most of those studies include lapropion. So again, there's this huge debate about whether niacin actually works or not. You've got the European Society of Cardiologists recommending niacin, the ACC doesn't. And again, just tune into YouTube or Google and you'll see all the evidence you want of that debate. Now, very few supplements are truly dangerous. The FDA is conservative regarding safety requirements. Aspirin may actually be the biggest exception. It might be the most dangerous OTC out there. You've heard that. Many of us have heard that. And why is that? It was approved long ago, and the FDA tends to have a difficult time going back and changing its decisions and recommendations. So you end up with the question, are supplements the fountain of youth, or are they just more expensive urine? I don't think they're either. Again, it's more complicated than that. I wish I could say they're all more expensive urine, and I used to say that. As I get deeper in terms of researching them, there's clear evidence that they do help. Berberine, curcumin, NAC, PQQ, tons of them have evidence that they help. Now, do they help as much as lifestyle? Do they help as much as a 20-pound weight loss? No way. If you need to lose 20 or 30 pounds, you can't supplement your way out of a bad lifestyle. You can't supplement your way out of refusing to exercise. You can't supplement your way out of eating a lot of carbs if you have insulin resistance or diabetes. Here's another thing to remember. If a supplement really did help a lot, usually Big Pharma is going to find a way to manipulate it just a little bit, make it prescription level, and charge a ton of money for it, and make a ton of money with it. I don't say this to beat up on Big Pharma. In fact, I'm not the Big Pharma hater that most of my viewers are. If you don't believe that, let me give an example. The statins were some of the most profitable drugs ever. In fact, they were the most profitable drugs ever until fairly recently. I think they may have been unseated. Statins came from supplements. A supplement that's still very commonly known, red yeast rice. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stop taking supplements? I don't really think that we will. There's too much of a swan song. So I think I'm going to end up continuing to do reviews, supplement reviews. Speaking of which, this is page 2, where I go through the list regarding DHEA, some of the thyroid supplements, vitamins D, K, krill oil, etc., and page 3. So thank you for your interest.